Okay, so can you just tell us how many people have been in the shelter since Hurricane Irene?
76.
76 have been through?
Have been through and stayed at least one night.
All right.
We currently have 7 people who are in the shelter.
How long have they been staying?
Early on, many people just stayed for maybe 1 to 3 or 4 nights until they had alternate places to go. And some people have actually been here since it happened, so they've been here for 12 days.
So those people have been going to family members' houses, friends?
Yeah, most
etc.?
people will try to go to family or friends first, or find a rental or wherever else they can. And sometimes what we act as is an emergency shelter, so we offer people a place in an emergency for their immediate needs. They have a place to sleep, they can get food, they can get clothing, and take showers, and sort of get their head together while they look for what's the next step for their recovery.
And have most of them been older, younger,
Mixture.
families?
Mixture, yeah, lots of families. There are lots of families in this area who were affected, and
have these people's homes been just completely wiped out? And
the people who are here now, yes. And at the beginning, some of them were people that were just evacuated because the water was so high. And so the police or fire came to their house and said, you need to get out. And as soon as it was seeded and they could go back and begin to clean up, then they did. Others, if the house was so destroyed they couldn't go back, then they had to stay or they had to find an alternate solution. And we work with them so that each family that's here, or each individual that's here, we'll sit down with them one-on-one and do casework with them and help them come up with what is their plan. So what's their immediate short-term plan, what's their long-term plan, how can we assist them connecting to other agencies or services that are around here when they need more clothing or they need food to go back to their house. We give them a referral so they can go over to the Haven or to Listen or these other places who are our partnership agencies. And with that referral, they know when they go there that they've already been vetted by us, they've met with us, and we've said, yes, they need assistance, would you please offer it to them free of charge, and that they don't have to go through another round of paperwork at any of those agencies.
Now, just from like what you've talked to the people that are here, what's their next step? What are they planning to do now? Because I've heard just from most people that the government can only give them like $30,000 roughly, because they don't have flood insurance. You can't exactly build a home and a life on $30,000.
No, but you can start. So you can start to figure out what you can do, whether you're rebuilding, if you owned a home. And I think it's different depending on whether you own the home or whether you rented the home and the level of damage. So everybody's case might be slightly different for what kind of services they can get, either from FEMA, which is federal, or from the state of Vermont, or if they have insurance, or even from the local towns who are helping put them up for a short term until they can figure out what their next step is. Many people will have to go look for rentals because even if they own, they may need a rental for several months while they repair their house.
Now, how long do you guys estimate that you'll be here for?
We're here as long as people need us. So what we work with is we work with each family and we connect them to these local agencies, and together we try to come up with a plan. We never ever close the shelter until people we're done. You just
until people stop coming.
And you have to. And we never ask anyone to leave. They will only leave if we have a place for them to go. And so we work with them to do that. And if more people show up, we'll continue to take them in. People come in even after a week or 2 weeks to say, I've been staying with friends, or I've tried to stay in. Nice to see you. Thank you. Or they have tried to stay in their home, and after a week, it's like camping, and they just need to come someplace, and maybe that's just for a day or two to then figure out their next steps. So we help with that too. And when we do close, we'll give 24-hour notice, and we'll notify the towns in the area, emergency services departments. When we do close, we'll leave an emergency number that people can call, so if they do have those needs, we'll be able to connect them right away to other services and places that will offer them housing in the short term.
How far have people been traveling to come here?
Well, initially, during the hurricane, we had people who were here from Maine and west who were traveling. There was a guy that was on his way to Montana, and he got caught in the storm. Buses couldn't go anywhere. They came here. So we had several out-of-staters, probably a half a dozen or maybe up to 10 people from out of state. And as soon as roads were open and they were able to leave,
they were able to travel.
Then they traveled on. But most of the people are local. Most of them are Vermonters, out to Sharon, Bridgewater, Woodstock, Ludlow, just the whole area.
Where's the next closest shelter?
Next closest shelter, there's one in Bethel. The town of Woodstock had one. It wasn't run by Red Cross, but they did have a shelter. I actually don't know if that was still open. The Red Cross originally had 8 shelters that were open in the state, and this is the last official Red Cross shelter that's still open. The other 7 have closed. Everyone's been able to find the next transitional housing that they need. So we're working on it, working to help people recover.
Good. Well,